Hi, my name is Ashley. Today I'm going to be talking about the activity Investigate the Teacher, and I'm going to talk about a couple different ways that you could do this activity and some follow-up activities that you could also do. I did not come up with this activity. I think I stumbled upon it maybe on Pinterest. The reason why I like to do Investigate the Teacher is because it's a really interesting way to see how your student's mind works, like how creative they can be, them thinking outside of the box, how quickly they're like, whatever, let's just go with a basic guess. I just like to see the thought process, and I like to see how they collaborate. So this is like a very easy, fun activity to do that. Let's talk about the different ways that we could introduce or do this activity. You could bring in a couple different items that represent you, and you could put these items either in a brown bag, or what I used to do is I would get like those plain small little gift bags from either the dollar spot or the dollar store, whichever. And I would put a couple items. I think I would do 6 bags, and then I would have my kids in 5 or 6 groups, depending on how big the class size was. And I would give each group a bag with those items. And so I would set a timer, and they don't need an enormous amount of time. They mostly need time to just record on the sheet. So let's say, and this is a good way to just also get a feel for your class to see like how long it takes them to do certain activities. So let's say I would give them 5 minutes. And on the sheet, which is included in the resource linked down below, but on the sheet, it would be a drawing of the artifact. And again, this is a fun opportunity to see who kind of like gives up, who goes all out, like who your artists in the classroom are. They would describe it, and then they would make an inference based on these items in the bag. One year I put pink and blue paint in the bag, and some kids guessed those are my favorite colors. Some kids guessed that I'm a painter. Some kids guessed that I like to do like home decorating. It's just always interesting to see the types of guesses that you get. I think one year I did a candle, and then I think it was the numbers 1022. So for some of you, you're like, that's not really tricky, but I remember the kids having a hard time with that because they didn't realize that it was my birthday. So my birthday is October 22nd. Option number 2, if you don't want to bring in all of these items, or if you're really crunched on time and you're like, I just need an activity really quickly, you could just let them wander the room. And normally, if it were me, I would give them some sort of structure, like don't go in anything, don't really move anything, just observe the 4 walls. Just like take a look, you can walk behind my desk, don't go through anything, and let them make inferences based off of that. Maybe give them like 10 or 15 minutes, and they can just walk freely. So again, this is a great option if you need something that's extremely low prep. They really just need the sheet, the recording sheet. And then you could always put them into groups so they can discuss what observations they came up with. So option 3, these are going to be your virtual options. So during the pandemic, I had to do this activity virtually, and I enjoyed this activity, so I was determined to make it work. I did a slideshow, and I did it with like a picture of an item on the slideshow. You could just Google an item, you could literally take a picture of it, and I had them make inferences or guesses in the chat. Or maybe I would like put them in a breakout room, they could discuss it, have them come back and discuss it. If you were doing that in your actual classroom, you could just simply do the turn and talk and have them look at the slideshow. I also had like digital recording sheets too, so if for some reason I couldn't make copies that day, I would have them use their Chromebook and go on Google Slides. That template is also included if you're interested. Okay, so let's talk about some follow-up activities that could go with this. So you could do Investigate the Student. So depending on how big or small you wanted to go with this activity, you could have students create their own version. So they could bring in items from home, or if you're concerned about the safety of these items or how like out of control it could get, you could have them Google Photos or Google Photos, draw photos, or literally take a picture. You could put them into a group with a partner, you could have them do a presentation, or just submit it like a project. It's really up to you, but it's a great opportunity for them to kind of work with each other and make guesses based on each other. Or of course, you could do it almost like show and tell, like you assign a couple different people to bring in items for the week, and they could do it with a small group, and it's just a fun extension activity. And you could have those students that are observing also record and just keep the inferences going and the recording going. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, everything is linked below if you're interested in using that template, and I hope you have a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy this activity.